Irina Kolpakova,
Suzanne Rose Contratinko,
Abdullah Kone,
Bon Siok Ku,
Dorata Kopiksko,
Scott Michael Kopitko,
Bohan George Kohitzik,
Danielle Kushulis,
David P. Kovalchin,
John J. Kren,
William Edward Krakowski,
Lumila Kasida,
Toshia Kuge,
Shakar Kumar,
Kenneth Bruce Kumpel,
Frederick Ko Jr.,
Patricia A. Kuras,
Noka Kushatani,
Thomas Joseph Kuvakis,
Victor Korkai,
Raymond Ku-Fai Kwok,
Angela Reed Kite,
Andrew LaCourte,
Carol Ann LaPlante,
Jeffrey G. Latouche,
Catherine L. Labori,
Amarnath Lachman,
Ganesh K. Ladkat,
James Patrick Ladley,
Joseph A. LaFalce,
Jeanette Louise LaFond Minichino,
David James LaForge,
and my uncle, Thomas Joseph Collins, who's reunited with his mother and father in heaven. To know my uncle Tommy was to love him. Jen, Tim, Colleen, and their families miss you dearly, and we love you very much.
and to my father, Joseph John Berry, whose motto was, "Life is good." We miss you more than my heart and soul ever thought possible. But that is only further evidence of the love and light you brought into this world, our lives, and the lives of everyone that knew you, and that love never dies. You truly were something special, self-made, brilliant, good-looking, and kind. The model of a life well lived, quick with a smile and affection, generous and friendly to everybody. You taught me the most important things in life, so every day I strive to do better and be better. Your 9 grandchildren love and talk about you all the time, even though they never got the chance to meet you in person. That legacy, your legacy of love, lives on through them. Mom, the great love of your life, and all of us. I love you.
Michael Patrick Lafuerte,
Alan Charles LaFrance,
Juan Mendez Lafuente,
Neil Kwong Wa Le,
Vincent Anthony Layeta,
William David Lake,
Franco Lalama,
Chow Kwan Lam,
Michael S. Lamana,
Stephen Lamantia,
Amy Hope Lamazov,
Robert T. Lane,
Brandon Mark Lang,
Roseanne P. Lang,
Vanessa Long Langer,
Mary Lou Langley,
Peter J. Legone,
Thomas Michael Langone,
Michelle Bernadette Lenza,
Ruth Sheila Lappin,
Ingeborg A. D. Laribi,
Robin Blair Larkey,
Judith Camille Larocque,
Christopher Randell Larrabee,
Hamidou S. Larry,
Scott Larson,
John Adam Larson,
Natalie Janice Lasden,
Gary Edward Lasco,
Nicholas Craig Lassman,
Paul Lazinski,
Charles A. Lorenzen,
Stephen James Lauria,
Maria Lavache,
Dennis Francis Lavelle,
Janine Mary Laverde,
N. A. Laverty,
Stephen Lawn,
Robert A. Lawrence Jr.,
Nathaniel Lawson,
and my loved husband, firefighter Carl Franz Lazaro, that his legacy today continues living on by our children. We never forget you. God bless all.
And my father, Donald G. Havlish, Jr. Dad, I am so grateful to have you as my guardian angel who watches over me through all my adventures. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of you and miss you. I love you +1.
David W. Lashek,
Eugen Gabriel Lazar,
James Patrick Leahy,
Joseph Gerard Levy,
Neil J. Levy,
Robert G. LeBlanc,
Leon Lebor,
Kenneth Charles Lede,
Alan J. Lederman,
Elena F. Ledesma,
Alexis Leduc,
Daniel John Lee,
David S. Lee,
Dong Chul Lee,
Gary H. Lee,
Hyun Jun Lee,
Juanita Lee,
Catherine Blair Lee,
Linda C. Lee,
Lorraine Mary Green Lee,
Myung Woo Lee,
Richard Y. C. Lee,
Stuart Soo Jin Lee,
Yang Der Lee,
Stephen Paul Lefkowitz,
Adriana Legro,
Edward Joseph Lehman,
Eric Lehrfeld,
David R. Leisman,
David Prudencio Lamagne,
Joseph Anthony Lehman,
John Joseph Lennon Jr.,
John Robinson Lenore,
Jorge Luis Leon Sr.,
Matthew G. Leonard,
Michael Lepore,
Charles Lesperance,
Jeff Levine,
John Dennis Levi,
Alicia Karen Levin,
and my uncle, Martin Morales Zampateta. Your passing has left a hole in our family, but has taught us that family is important. You live in every memory and in every thought. We miss you.
and my uncle Bradley Hodges Vadas. We all miss you every single day, and your legacy lives on through my brother, who is your namesake.
Neil David Levin.
Robert Levine.
Robert Michael Levine.
Shai Levenhar.
Daniel M. Lewin.
Adam J. Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
Kenneth E. Lewis.
Margaret Susan Lewis.
Yi Wei Liang.
Orasri Liang Thenasarn.
Daniel F. Libretti.
Ralph Michael Lichardi.
Edward Lickshine.
Samantha L. Lightborn Allen.
Stephen Barry Lilienthal.
Carlos R. Lilo.
Craig Damian Lilor.
Arnold Abuleda Lim.
Daria Lin.
Wei Rong Lin.
Nikki L. Lindo.
Thomas V. Linehan Jr.
Robert Thomas Linnane.
Alan Patrick Linton Jr.
Diane Teresa Lipari.
Kenneth P. Lira Aravello.
Francisco Alberto Liriano.
Lorraine Lisi.
Paul Listen.
Vincent M. Lito.
Ming Hao Liu.
Nancy Liz.
Harold Lizcano.
Martin Lazul.
George A. Jonas.
Elizabeth C. Logler.
Catherine Lisa Laguidice.
Jerome Robert Lohez.
Michael William Lomax.
And my uncle, Michael Cameron Lynch of Cantor Fitzgerald. We will always carry your memory in our hearts forever, Morty. Rest easy with Chloe. Look over our girls and Pop. We love you.
And my aunt, Maria Teresa Concepcion Santillan. I never met you, but I've heard great stories about you. I know you are looking down on us as our guardian angel. Lolo, Lola, Dita Ray, and Dad miss you. We love you. God bless America.
Stephen V. Long,
Laura Maria Longing,
Salvatore P. Lopez,
Daniel Lopez,
George Lopez,
Luis Manuel Lopez,
Malcalvio Lopez Jr.,
Manuel L. Lopez,
Joseph Lostrangio,
Chet Deck Louis,
Stuart Saeed Lewis,
Joseph Libero,
Sarah Elizabeth Lowe,
Jenny Sue Kwong Lo Wong,
Michael W. Lowe,
Gary W. Logier,
John P. Lowaski,
Charles Peter Lucania,
Edward Harbs Lockett II,
Mark Gavin Levitskitson,
Lee Charles Ludwig,
Sean Thomas Lugano,
Daniel Lugo,
Maria Lucas,
William Lum Jr.,
Michael P. London,
Christopher E. Lunder,
Anthony Luparello,
Gary Frederick Lutnick,
Lynn Ann Lusacone,
Alexandra Ligon,
Cece Lyles,
Farrell Peter Lynch,
Jane Francis Lynch,
James T. Lynch Jr.,
Louise A. Lynch,
Michael Cameron Lynch,
Michael Francis Lynch,
Michael Francis Lynch,
Richard D. Lynch Jr.,
and my brother Rudolph N. Riccio. Rudy, so a while back somebody told me that they used to call you Rhino because they said when you got angry, you rocked on your heels back and forth and they could almost see the smoke coming out of your ears. I never forgot that, Rudy. You are my hero. Fran and I miss you desperately. God bless you, Rudy.
and my brother, Christopher Edward Fawnin. Chris, you would be so proud of what wonderful, passionate adults your 3 children, Sienna, Juliet, and Liam, have grown up to be. Thanks for guiding them from above. We all love you and miss you, Chris.
Robert Henry Lynch Jr.,
Sean P. Lynch,
Sean Patrick Lynch,
Terrence M. Lynch,
Michael J. Lyons,
Monica Ann Lyons,
Nahoman Lyons IV,
Patrick John Lyons,
Robert Francis Mace,
Mary Ann McFarland,
John Masajewski,
Susan A. Mackey,
William Macco,
Catherine Fairfax McCrae,
Richard Blaine Madden,
Simon Madison,
Noel C. Mears,
Jenny Ann Maffeo,
Joseph Maffeo,
J. Robert Magazine,
Brian McGee,
Charles W. McGee,
Daniel L. Marr,
Ronald Magnuson,
William J. Mahoney,
Joseph Daniel Mayo,
Linda C. Mayer Grayling,
Takashi Makimoto,
Abdul Ali Malahi,
Deborah I. Maldonado,
Myrna T. Maldonado Augusto,
Alfred Russell Maller,
Gregory James Malone,
Edward Francis Maloney III,
Joseph E. Maloney,
Jean Edward Malloy,
Christian H. Maltby,
Francisco Miguel Mancini,
Mary Herencia, and my brother Aaron Iskandarian Jr.
and my cousin, firefighter Michael Edward Roberts. We love you and we miss you every day.
Joseph Mangano,
Sarah Elizabeth Manley,
Deborah M. Manetti,
Marion Victoria Manning,
Terrence John Manning,
James Maunus.
Alfred Giles Padre Joseph Marjan.
Joseph Ross Marchbanks Jr.
Laura A. Marchese.
Hilda Marson.
Peter Edward Madikia.
Edward Joseph Martovich.
Charles Joseph Macchiato.
Louis Neil Mariani.
Kenneth Joseph Morano.
Lester V. Marino.
Vita Morano.
Kevin D. Marlowe.
Jose Juan Moreto.
John Daniel Marshall.
Shirley A. Martian.
James Martello.
Michael A. Marti.
Karen Ann Martin.
Peter J. Martin.
Teresa M. Martin.
William J. Martin, Jr.
Brian E. Martineau.
Betsy Martinez.
Edward J. Martinez.
Jose Angel Martinez, Jr.
Robert Gabriel Martinez.
Waleska Martinez.
Lizzie D. Martinez Calderon.
Paul Richard Martini.
Anne Marie Martino Kramer.
Joseph A. Mascali.
Bernard Mascarenas.
Stephen Frank Mazzi.
Ada L. Mason Acker.
And my husband, Derek Christopher Washington. We love you, we miss you, and may you continue to watch over our three sons, Christopher, Devin, and Malik. And now we have a beautiful 6-month-old grandbaby, and we know that you are watching and protecting her. And her name is Destiny Washington.
And my uncle, Brian Thomas Cummins. He was an avid surfer, skier, and deadhead, all while being one of the smartest and hardworking people I know. He was deeply missed.
Nicholas George Massa. Patricia Ann Samaroli Masari. Michael Mazzaroli. Philip William Mastrandrea Jr. Rudy Mastrasinke. Joseph Mathai. Charles William Mathers. William A. Matheson. Marcelo Matriciano. Margaret Elaine Mattick. Dean E. Matson. Robert D. Matson. Walter A. Matuza Jr. Timothy J. Maud. Jill Moore Campbell. Charles A. Morrow Jr. Charles J. Morrow. Dorothy Morrow. Nancy T. Morrow. Robert J. Maxwell. Renee A. May. Tyrone May. Keith Roy Marcellus Maynard. Robert J. Mayo. Kathy N. Mazza. Edward Mazzella Jr. Jennifer Lynn Mazzata. Karia Mambaya. James Joseph McAllery Jr. Brian Gerard McLeese. Patricia Ann McKennedy. Colin R. MacArthur. John Kevin McAvoy. Kenneth M. McBrayer. Brendan F. McCabe. Michael McCabe. Thomas Joseph McCann. Justin McCarthy. Kevin M. McCarthy. Michael Desmond McCarthy. And my grandfather, Rocco Camash. Though I never had the chance to meet you, I heard so many stories about the wonderful person you were. All of your grandchildren wish they could have met you, and your family loves and misses you every each day. We love you, Baba. Thank you for watching over us and keeping us safe. And my uncle, Thierry Elisada. It has been 18 years, and although I have never met you, I carry your name with such great pride. The whole family misses you so much. Even though we do not see you, we feel you have been with us every step of the way. May the memories of the amazing person that you were continue to be for a blessing and bring more joy and light to the world. Je t'aime très fort, and God bless America.
Robert G. McCarthy.
Stanley McCaskill.
Katie Marie McCloskey.
Juliana Valentine McCourt.
Ruth Magdalene McCourt.
Charles Austin McCran.
Toniel F. McDay.
Matthew T. McDermott.
Joseph P. McDonald.
Brian Grady McDonald.
Michael P. McDonald.
John F. McDowell, Jr.
Eamon J. McEnany.
John Thomas McCarolyn, Jr.
Daniel Francis McGinley.
Mark Ryan McGinley.
William E. McGinn.
Thomas Henry McGinnis.
Michael Gregory McGinty.
Ann Walsh McGovern.
Scott Martin McGovern.
William J. McGovern.
Stacy Senis McGowan.
Francis Noel McGuinn.
Thomas F. McGinnis, Jr.
Patrick J. McGuire.
Thomas M. McHale.
Keith David McKeffey.
Ann M. McHugh.
Dennis J. McHugh III.
Dennis P. McHugh.
Michael Edward McHugh, Jr.
Robert G. McIlvain.
Donald James McIntyre.
Stephanie Marie McKenna.
Molly L. McKenzie.
Barry J. McKeon.
Evelyn C. McKinney.
Daryl LaRon McKinney.
George Patrick McLaughlin, Jr.
And my uncle, Daniel Francis McGinley. Although I was only 7 when you passed, I'll never forget you teaching me how to swing a baseball bat. We love you.
And my uncle, David Fodor. It's taken me 17 years to get here and honor your memory. I want you to know that those of us who were blessed to know you in life will always remember your kind heart, loving smile, and beautiful spirit. I will not let my children grow up without knowing that you were one of many heroes that died saving lives on September 11, 2001. God bless the victims and families of September 11th, and God bless America.
Robert C. McLaughlin, Jr.
Gavin McMahon.
Robert D. McMahon.
Edmund M. McNally.
Daniel Walker McNeil.
Walter Arthur McNeil.
Christine Sheila McNulty.
Sean Peter McNulty.
Robert William McPadden.
Terrence A. McShane.
Timothy Patrick McSweeney.
Martin E. McWilliams.
Rocco A. Medaglia.
Abigail Medina.
Anna Iris Medina.
Damian Meehan.
William J. Meehan, Jr.
Alok Kumar Mehta.
Raymond Miesenheimer.
Manuel Emilio Mejia.
Escadar Malacu.
Antonio Melendez.
Mary P. Melendez.
Christopher D. Mello.
Yelena Melnichenko.
Stuart Todd Meltzer.
Dorelia Giovanna Mina.
Dora Marie Menchaca.
Charles R. Mendez.
Lizette Mendoza.
Siobhan Alicia Mentes.
Wolfgang Peter Menzel.
Steve John Mercado.
Wilfredo Mercado.
Wesley Mercer.
Ralph Joseph Mercurio.
Alan Harvey Merdinger.
George L. Marino,
Yamal Josephina Marino,
George Mercuris,
and my uncle, Port Authority Police Officer Clinton Davis. I have heard great things about you, and I am so sad that I didn't get to meet you. We all love and miss you so much.
and my uncle Salvatore P. Lopes and cousin Vincent Francis DeFazio. We love and miss you both every day.
Deborah Merrick,
Raymond Joseph Metz III,
Jill Ann Metzler,
David Robert Meyer,
Narul H. Maiha,
William Edward Michiulu,
Martin Paul Mickelston,
Patricia E. Mickley,
Ronald D. Malam,
Peter Teague Milano,
Gregory Milanowicz,
Lukasz Tomasz Milewski,
Sharon Christina Milan,
Corey Peter Miller,
Greg J. Miller,
Douglas C. Miller,
Henry Alfred Miller Jr.,
Joel Miller,
Michael Matthew Miller,
Nicole Carol Miller,
Philip D. Miller,
Robert Allen Miller,
Robert Cromwell Miller Jr.,
Benny Millman,
Charles M. Miles Jr.,
Ronald Keith Milstein,
Robert J. Minara,
William George Minardi,
Louis Joseph Minervino,
Thomas Mingione,
Wilbert Morali,
Dominic N. Mirkovich,
Rajesh Arjun Mapuri,
Joseph D. Mistruli,
Susan J. Miskowski,
Paul Thomas Mitchell,
Richard D. Mucci,
Jeffrey Peter Ledenick,
Frank V. Minucci Sr.,
Louis Joseph Modafferi,
and my brother, Alan Palumbo. It's been 18 years. Haven't missed a year. You're always in my heart with your brother and your sister, your niece, your nephew, and your great nephews and your great niece. We love you, and God bless the United States of America.
and my brother-in-law, Jayesh Shantilal Shah. It's been 18 years since we put a bookmark in the Book of Life and held the spot that you were forcefully taken away from us. I look forward to a moment when our souls can reconnect and we can share the wonder of these chapters. Your spirit of love, adventure, and compassion live on in your three children, Nikita, Sonia, and Kevin. You would be immensely proud of them, and your wife, Jyoti. Your brother, Niloy, no matter where we are living in this world, always manages to come back to this hallowed ground to reconnect with a part of you and honor you. I hope you know how much we and all your extended family in India love you, miss you, and remember you always.
Oye Muhammad,
Dennis Mojica,
Firefighter Manuel D. Mojica Jr.,
Kleber Rolando Molina,
Manuel de Jesus Molina,
Carl Molinaro,
Justin John Molisani Jr.,
Brian Patrick Monaghan,
Franklin Monahan,
John Gerard Monahan.
Kristen Lee Montanero.
Craig Montano.
Michael G. Montesi.
Carlos Alberto Montoya.
Antonio de Jesus Montoya Valdez.
Cheryl Ann Monyak.
Thomas Carlo Moody.
Sharon Moore.
Krishna V. Morthy.
Laura Lee DeFazio Morabito.
Abner Morales.
Carlos Manuel Morales.
Paula E. Morales.
Sonia Mercedes Morales Popolo.
Gerard P. Moran Jr.
John Christopher Moran.
John Michael Moran.
Kathleen Moran.
Lindsay Stapleton Morehouse.
George William Morell.
Stephen P. Morello.
Vincent S. Morello.
Yvette Nicole Moreno.
Dorothy Morgan.
Richard J. Morgan.
Nancy Morgenstern.
Sanae Mori.
Blanca Robertina Morocho Morocho.
Lionel Geronimo Morocho Morocho.
Dennis Gerard Maroney.
And my cousin, John DeGiovanni.
And my father, Jesus Sanchez. I don't remember you much, but from what I do remember, you used to love traveling, and according to Mom, that's what I used to love to do as well. My friends tell me that your next trip was to Hong Kong, so I think for the both of us, that's the next trip that I will do. So that way you can see whatever I see.
And for my cousin, John DeGiovanni, one of the victims of the February 26, 1993 bombing. You're one of few that passed that day, but it's a powder keg in this country that we will never forget. It marked the day of terrorism in this country. And that brings me to remember my dear cousin, husband, Kurt Wolf Gruber. He was the director for the he was the chairman for the directors of the Voices of 9/11, and it was here where he met my cousin that he would later marry because of John Connors, who died in the World Trade Center. And the number of people that the world is coming to, that we are now, in my world, that I've associated with, is growing bigger on this site. And we can never forget that. We will never forget this. And I have to thank all the soldiers that are across the world fighting for the reason why, that we're all standing here, and I'm standing here saying these names. May God bless America. Thank you.
Lynn Irene Morris.
Odessa V. Morris.
Seth Allen Morris.
Steve Morris.
Christopher Martell Morrison.
Ferdinand V. Marone.
William David Moskal.
Brian A. Moss.
Marco Matroni.
Cynthia Modis Wilson.
Yuri A. Luchinsky.
Jude Joseph Musa.
Peter Mutos.
Damian O'Neill Moat.
Teddington H. Moy.
Christopher Michael Mozio.
Stephen Vincent Mulderry.
Richard T. Muldowney Jr.
Michael D. Mullen.
Dennis Michael Mulligan.
Peter James Mulligan.
Michael Joseph Mullen.
James Donald Munhall.
Nancy Muniz.
Francisco Ladio Munoz.
Carlos Mario Munoz.
Teresa Munson.
Robert Michael Marak.
Cesar Augusto Murillo.
Mark A. Marolo.
Brian Joseph Murphy.
Charles Anthony Murphy.
Christopher W. Murphy.
Edward Charles Murphy.
James F. Murphy IV.
Patrick Jude Murphy.
Kevin James Murphy.
Raymond E. Murphy.
Patrick Sean Murphy.
James Thomas Murphy.
And my father, Robert R. Ploger III, and my stepmother, Zandra F. Ploger.
And my cousin, Michael A. Marty. We love you and we'll miss you forever. Thanks for always watching over us.
Robert Eddie Murphy Jr.
John Joseph Murray.
John Joseph Murray.
Susan D. Murray.
Valerie Victoria Murray.
Richard Todd Myrie.
Louis J. Nackey II.
Robert B. Nagel.
Mildred Rose Naiman.
Takuya Nakamura.
Alexander John Robert Napier.
Frank Joseph Naples III.
John Philip Napolitano.
Catherine Ann Nardella.
Mario Nardone Jr.
Monica K. Narola.
Sean M. Nassany.
Narander Nath.
Karen Susan Navarro.
Joseph M. Navas.
Francis Joseph Nazario.
Glenroy I. Niblet.
Raymond Marcus Neblet.
Jerome O. Ned.
Lawrence F. Nadell.
Luke G. Nee.
Pete Nedrone.
Laurie Ann Nera.
Ann N. Nelson.
David William Nelson.
Ginger Risco Nelson.
James A. Nelson.
Michelle Ann Nelson.
Peter Allen Nelson.
Oscar Francis Nesbitt.
Gerard Terrence Nevins.
Renee Tetrault Newell.
Christopher C. Newton.
Christopher Newton Carter.
Nancy Ewan Go.
And my father, John Christopher Henwood. It's been 18 years since you were taken away from us, and yesterday would have been your 27th wedding anniversary. But I'm thankful every day for the loving mother and sister that I have. I'm also lucky to have people like Doug, Pam, and David in my life. I look up to you every day and hope that you're proud of me. Claudia, Mom, and I love you and miss you dearly.
And my cousin, Judy Hazel Santillan Fernandez. And Maria Teresa Santillan. We miss you, Judy and Maritas. We will always love you and always be in our hearts.
Khan Niguk Nagoyan.
Jody Tepedino Nicolo.
Kathleen Ann Nikosha.
Martin Stewart Niederer.
Alphonse Joseph Niedermeyer.
Frank John Niestat Jr.
Gloria Nieves.
Juan Nieves Jr.
Troy Edward Nelson.
Paul Nimbley.
John Valentine Niven.
Catherine McGarry Nowak.
Curtis Terrence Noel.
Michael A. Noeth.
Curtis Daniel R. Nolan.
Robert Walter Noonan.
Jacqueline June Norton.
Robert Grant Norton.
Daniela Rosalia Notaro.
Brian Christopher Novotny.
Soichi Numata.
Brian Nunes.
Jose Nunez.
Jeffrey Roger Nussbaum.
James A. Oakley.
Dennis Patrick Oberg.
James P. O'Brien Jr.
Michael P. O'Brien.
Scott J. O'Brien.
Timothy Michael O'Brien.
Daniel O'Callahan.
Dennis James O'Connor Jr.
Diana J. O'Connor.
Keith Kevin O'Connor.
Richard J. O'Connor.
Amy O'Doherty.
Marnie Pont O'Doherty.
Douglas E. Olschlager.
Takashi Agawa.
Albert Ogletree.
And my grandfather, Michael San Philip, who I know watches over me every day.
And my uncle, Michael Lawrence Collins. Uncle Mike, we love you, we miss you, and we hope you found peace and a pair of skis up in heaven.
Philip Paul Ognebeni.
John A. Oganowski.
James Andrew O'Grady.
Joseph J. Ogren,
Thomas G. O'Hagan,
Samuel Otis,
Patrick J. O'Keefe,
William O'Keefe,
Gerald Michael Olcott,
Gerald Thomas O'Leary,
Christine Ann Olender,
Linda Mary Olive,
Edward K. Oliver,
Leah Elizabeth Oliver,
Eric Top Olson,
Jeffrey James Olson,
Stephen John Olson,
Maureen Lyons Olson,
Toshihiro Ada,
Matthew Timothy O'Mahony,
John P. O'Neill,
Seamus L. O'Neill,
Sean Gordon Corbett O'Neill,
Peter J. O'Neill Jr.,
Michael C. Opperman,
Betty Ann Ong,
Margaret Quinn Olaski,
Christopher T. Orgilowitz,
Ruben S. Ornato,
Virginia Ann Armiston,
Ronald Orsini,
Kevin M. O'Rourke,
Juan Ortego Campos,
Peter Keith Ortali,
Alexander Ortiz,
Jane Marie Orth,
Emilio Pete Ortiz,
David Ortiz,
and my brother Daniel M. Van Leer. Danny, we miss you, we love you. We keep you alive and the victims of 9/11 alive by your memories. Please never forget.
and my brother, my big brother, Joseph John Hassan III. I drive by the memorial every day on my way to work, and I speak to him like so many of us do every day. And I know he'd want me to take this moment to say how proud he is of his family, Mom, Dad, Sister Vicky, my sister-in-law Mary. It's been 18 years to have our ups and downs, but we've been there for each other, and he's extremely proud of us. And my little nephew, Joe, who's not so little anymore, just started Villanova, how proud he is of you. Do great, big guy. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention two of his best friends. Mike Favalli, who set up a beautiful golf outing every year to celebrate my brother's life. It meant so much to us. You and your beautiful wife, Sue, thank you. And my brother's best friend, Arthur Aidala, who's been like a second big brother to me. He's always been there for my family, and more importantly, he's been teaching my nephew about my brother and sharing stories with him. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my dear friends, who've been there all the time. My brother always said I had the best friends in the world, and he was right. And my beautiful wife, Cindy, Joe brought us together. I've known you my whole life. It wasn't until the loss of him that my eyes were open to see what I had in front of me. I know I haven't been the easiest person to live with, but I love you with all my heart. And thank you for my two beautiful children. I love you. God bless you all. Thanks for listening. God bless America.
Paul Ortiz Jr.,
Sonia Ortiz,
Masaru Osei,
Patrick J. O'Shea,
Robert William O'Shea,
Elsie Carolina Osario Olivia,
James R. Ostrowski,
Timothy Franklin O'Sullivan,
Jason Douglas Oswald,
Michael John Olten,
Isidro D. Ottenwalder,
Michael Chong O,
Todd Joseph Owita,
Jesus Orales,
Peter J. Owens Jr.,
Adianas Oyola,
Angel M. Pabon Jr.,
Israel Pabon Jr.,
Ronald Pacheco,
Michael Benjamin Paca,
Diana B. Padro,
Deepa Pakala,
Jeffrey Matthew Palazzo,
Thomas Palazzo,
Richard A. Palazzola,
Oreo Joseph Palma,
Frank Anthony Palumbo,
Alan N. Palumbo,
Christopher Matthew Panettiere,
Dominique Elsa Pandolfo,
Jonas Martin Panic,
Paul J. Pensini,
John M. Palalilo,
Edward Joseph Papa,
Salvatore T. Papasso,
James Nicholas Papa George,
Marie Papalardo,
Bernard Kumar Parakat,
Vijaya Shankar Parasmalthi,
Nitin Ramesh Parakar,
and my father, Captain Terrence S. Hatton. We miss you, Dad.
And my brother, Walwyn Wellington Stewart, Jr. We love you forever and ever.
Harday Parbo,
James Wendell Parle,
Deborah Murray Paris,
George Paris,
Guy Young Park,
Philip Lacey Parker,
Michael Allen Parks,
Robert E. Parks Jr.,
Hashmuk C. Palmer,
Robert Harrell,
Diane Mary Parsons,
Leobardo Lopez Pascual,
Michael J. Pascuma Jr.,
Gerald Hughes Paskins,
Horace Robert Passanetti,
Suzanne H. Pissarro,
Avanashi Ramanbhai Patel,
Dipti Patel,
Avish Manish Patel,
Stephen Bennett Patterson,
James Matthew Patrick,
Manuel D. Patricino,
Bernard E. Patterson,
Clifford L. Patterson Jr.,
Sarah Mary Patty,
Robert E. Pattison,
James Robert Paul,
Patrice Paz,
Victor Hugo Paz,
Stacy Lynn Peck,
Richard Allen Perlman,
Darrell V. Pearsall Jr.,
Thomas Nicholas Pecorelli,
Thomas Pedicini,
Todd Douglas Pellino,
Mike Adrian Paletia,
Anthony G. Peluso,
Angel R. Pena,
Robert Penninger,
Richard Al Penny,
and my sister, Harday K.C. Parbu. Today, I'm wearing my sister's jacket just for you, baby. I'm sure you're looking down and you're saying, look, that's my sister, and she's wearing my jacket just for you, baby. I love you. I would like to thank the 9/11 organization and the volunteers for their compassion and support to bring peace and comfort to the victims and the families on this very sad day. Thanks to our radio station in Montreal, the CJAD and Q92 for their tribute, and for playing my sister's song, Bridge Over Troubled Water, to her and all the victims. After 18 years, my sister, beloved, I miss you more than words can say. If all our memories can build a stairway to heaven and all our tears would build a lane, we would walk right back to heaven and bring you back again. Now you have Brother Ken and Brother Ro and our other loved ones. You all take care of each other and continue to look over us. You will live in our hearts forever, but there is no easy way to say goodbye. We love you. And for all the names that I've read here today, may God bless those families and give them a resident place, and continue to look over your families for them to pass this day. God bless everyone. Thank you.
And my brother, Alfred Russell Mailer. And to all that have lost someone, an anonymous quote. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. We love you always, Al. God bless.
Salvatore F. Pepe,
Carl Allen B. Peralta,
Robert David Peraza,
John A. Perconti Jr.,
Alejo Perez,
Angel Perez Jr.,
Angela Susan Perez,
Anthony Perez,
Ivan Antonio Perez,
Nancy E. Perez,
Barry Berenson Perkins,
Joseph John Parancino,
Edward J. Parata,
Imelda H. Perry,
Glenn C. Perry Sr.,
John William Perry,
Franklin Allen Pershep,
Danny Pesci,
Michael John Pescherine,
Davin N. Peterson,
Donald Arthur Peterson,
Jean Hoadley Peterson,
William Russell Peterson,
Mark James Petrocelli,
Philip Scott Petty,
Glenn Karen Pettit,
Dominic A. Pizzulo,
Kayleen Elizabeth Pizzuti,
Kevin J. Pfeiffer,
Tu On Pham,
Kenneth John Phelan Sr.,
Snea Ann Phillip,
Eugenia McCann Piantieri,
Ludwig John Picaro,
Matthew Paserno,
Joseph O. Pick,
Christopher J. Pickford,
Dennis J. Pierce,
Bernard Petronico,
Nicholas P. Pietrunti,
and my uncle, Jason Kyle Jacobs. We love and miss you every day. You're in our hearts forever.
and my grandfather, Joseph Piscadlo. We love you and think about you all the time.
Theodorus Pigus, Susan Elizabeth Pinto, Joseph Piscadlo, Christopher Todd Pittman, Joshua Michael Piver, Robert R. Plaisir III, Zandra F. Plaisir, Joseph Plumetallo, John M. Pocher, William Howard Pullman, Lawrence Michael Polich, Thomas H. Plahamas, Stephen Policino, Susan M. Polio, Darren H. Pontel, Joshua Ayusa Poptine, Giovanna Horas, Anthony Portillo, James Edward Patorti, Daphne Puletzis, Richard N. Polas, Stephen Emmanuel Polas, Brandon Jerome Powell, Scott Allen Powell, Sean Edward Powell, Antonio Dorsey Pratt, Gregory M. Preziosi, Wanda Evelis Prince, Vincent A. Princiota, Kevin M. Pryor, Everett Martin Proctor III, Carrie Beth Projan, David Lee Prume, Richard A. Prunty, John Foster Puckett, Robert David Puglis, Edward F. Pullis, Patricia Ann Puma, David D. Honches, Hemanth Kumar Putur, and my husband, Peter Mutos. We think of you often, especially with that ever-ready smile. And thank you to all who have assisted in the victims of 9/11 move forward with their lives. We couldn't have done it without you. And thank you to all who keep our country safe. And my son, Deej Cessna, we'll meet at the hill. We'll run to the top. I will not forget you. I have carved you on the palm of my hand.
Joseph J. Feasor, Jr.
Edward R. Pycon,
Christopher Quackenbush,
Lars Peter Qualbin,
Lincoln Kuwap,
Beth Ann Quigley,
Patrick J. Quigley IV,
Michael T. Quilty,
James Francis Quinn,
Ricardo J. Quinn,
Carol Millicent Rabelais,
Christopher Peter Anthony Rockaniello,
Leonard J. Regalia,
Eugene J. Raggio,
Laura Marie Raganisi Snick,
Michael Paul Ragusa,
Peter Frank Ramundi,
Harry A. Rains,
Lisa J. Rains,
Etisham Raja,
Valsa Raju,
Edward J. Rawl,
Lucas Rambusek,
Maria Ramirez,
Harry Ramos,
Vishnu Ramsarup,
Deborah A. Ramsauer,
Lorenzo E. Ramsey,
Alfred Todd Ranke,
Adam David Rand,
Jonathan C. Randall,
Shreyas S. Ranganath,
Ann T. Ransom,
Faina Rappaport,
Rhonda Sue Rasmussen,
Robert A. Rasmussen,
Aminia Razul.
R. Mark Rossweiler.
Marcia D. Ratchford.
David Allen James Rathke.
And my aunt, Maria A. Bear. We love and miss you.
And my cool mom, Maureen Lyons Olson, who was at Woodstock 50 years ago this summer. You always said you were born cool, and you're still cool. We love you.
William Ralph Robb.
Gerard F. Rousey.
Alexei Razuvayev.
Gregory Rita.
Sarah Ann Redheffer.
Michelle Marie Reed.
Judith Ann Reese.
Donald J. Regan.
Robert M. Regan.
Thomas Michael Regan.
Christian Michael Otto Regenhard.
Howard Reich.
Greg Reedy.
James Brian Riley.
Kevin O. Riley.
Timothy E. Riley.
Joseph Rena Jr.
Thomas Barnes Rainey.
Frank Bennett Reisman.
Joshua Scott Reese.
Karen Renda.
John Armand Rio.
Richard Cyril Rescorla.
John Thomas Resta.
Sylvia Sampio Resta.
Martha M. Reski.
David E. Reddick.
Todd H. Rubin.
Luis Clodoaldo Revilla Mir.
Edviges Reyes Jr.
Bruce Albert Reynolds.
John Frederick Rhodes.
Francis Saverio Riccardelli.
Rudolph N. Riccio.
Anne Marie Riccaboni.
David Harlow Rice.
Eileen Mary Rice.
Kenneth Frederick Rice III.
Cecilia E. Richard.
Vernon Allen Richard.
And my father, Police Officer Paul Talty, Emergency Service Truck 10. We love and miss you always.
And my brother-in-law, Michael William Lomax. Even though a lot of life has happened since that day, your legacy still lives on.
Claude Daniel Richards.
Gregory David Richards.
Michael Richards.
Venetia Orincia Richards.
Jimmy Riches.
Alan J. Richmond.
John M. Regal.
Frederick Charles Remley III.
Rosemary Rizzo.
Moises N. Rivas.
Joseph R. Rivelli Jr.
Carmen Alicia Rivera.
Isaias Rivera.
Juan William Rivera.
Linda Evelise Rivera.
David E. Rivers.
Joseph R. Reverso.
Paul V. Rizzo.
John Frank Rizzo.
Stephen Louis Roach.
Joseph Roberto.
Leo Arthur Roberts.
Michael E. Roberts.
Michael Edward Roberts.
Donald Walter Robertson Jr.
Jeffrey Robinson.
Michelle Lee Jean Robotham.
Donald Arthur Robson.
Antonio A. Rocha.
Raymond James Rocha.
Laura Rockefeller.
John Michael Rodak.
Antonio Jose Rodriguez.
Anthony Rodriguez.
Carmen Milagros Rodriguez.
Gregory E. Rodriguez.
Marsha A. Rodriguez.
Mayra Valdez Rodriguez.
Richard Rodriguez.
David Bartolo Rodriguez Vargas.
And my husband, Wei Wang. We love and miss you each and every day. You will live in our hearts forever. We make sure your legacy will be continued through your beautiful children.
And my mom, Irina Kopakova Mayer, for all the times that I forgot to thank you, for all the special little things you do, for all the words that sometimes go unspoken, I need to say I love you, Mom, I do. And if at times I may have seemed ungrateful, I want to say I truly hope you see that nothing you have done has been forgotten, and day by day you just mean more to me.
Matthew Rogan.
Jean Destrohan Rogier.
Carly Rogers.
Scott William Ronner.
Keith Michael Roma.
Joseph M. Robagnalo.
Ephraim Romero Sr.
Elvin Romero.
James A. Romito.
Sean Paul Rooney.
Eric Thomas Ropito.
Aida Rosario.
Angela Rosario.
Mark H. Rosen.
Brooke David Rosenbaum.
Linda Rosenbaum.
Cheryl Lynn Rosenbaum.
Lloyd Daniel Rosenberg.
Mark Lewis Rosenberg.
Andrew Ira Rosenblum.
Joshua M. Rosenblum.
Joshua Allen Rosenthal.
Richard David Rosenthal.
Philip Martin Rosenswag.
Daniel Rossetti.
Richard Barry Ross.
Norman S. Rossenow.
Nicholas P. Russell Mando.
Michael Craig Rothberg.
Donna Marie Rothenberg.
Mark David Rothenberg.
James Michael Rue.
Nicholas Charles Alexander Rowe.
Edward V. Rowenhorst.
Judy Roulette.
Timothy Allen Roy Sr.
Paul G. Rubach.
Ronald J. Rubin.
Joanne Rubino.
David M. Ruddle.
And my uncle, Calixto Anaya Jr. Theo, whenever people talk about you, the one thing that stands out to me the most was your sense of family. And I know you'd be extremely proud of the amazing family you left behind and the amazing young men and women that we've grown into. We love you and we miss you.
And to my father, Hugo M. Sene, a day doesn't go by that your memory is still alive within us. We still continue your legacy and remind our children of you always. We have a new family member, your grandson, Riven Sene. We will teach them, all three grandchildren, Analia, Madeline, and Riven, that you were a great man, a wonderful father, and a great husband to all of us. We love you forever until the end of time. God bless America. Te amo, papito.
Bart Joseph Ruggieri. Susan A. Ruggiero. Adam Keith Ruthalter. Gilbert Ruiz. Robert E. Russell. Stephen P. Russell. Stephen Harris Rusin. Michael Thomas Russo Sr. Wayne Allen Russo. William R. Ruth. Edward Ryan. John Joseph Ryan. Jonathan Stephen Ryan. Matthew L. Ryan. Tatiana Rusoya. Christina Sunga Ryuk. Thierry Sada. Jason Elazar Sabag. Thomas E. Sabea. Scott H. Saber. Charles E. Sabin Sr. Joseph Francis Sacerdote. Jessica Lee Sachs. Francis John Sadocha. Jude Elias Safi. Brock Joel Safranoff. Edward Saya. John Patrick Salomon. Majori C. Salomon. Hernando Rafael Salas. Juan G. Salas. Esmerlin Antonio Salcedo. John Pepe Salerno. Rama Sally. Richard L. Salandari Jr. Wayne John Solomon. Norbert Solomon. Catherine Patricia Salter. Frank G. Salvatera. Paul Richard Salvio. And my father, Christopher W. Woodencheck. We miss you every day. And my father, Maurice P. Kelly. He was a union carpenter who helped build this great city. Not only did he build a city, he built a family that truly misses him. He was a type of father who never missed one of my softball games growing up. But now, with each passing year, I feel he's missing out on so much. I miss his presence more and more each day, his smile, his sarcasm, and his guidance. Dad, you are my protector, and you are my angel. I know you'll forever guide us, my brothers Sean and Tommy, and give us the strength from above. Love you, Dad.
Samuel Robert Salvo Jr.,
Carlos Alberto Santiago,
John P. Sammartino,
James Kenneth Samuel Jr.,
Michael San Philip,
Hugo M. Sine,
Alva Cynthia Jeffries Sanchez,
Jacqueline Patrice Sanchez,
Jesus Sanchez,
Raymond Sanchez,
Eric M. Sand,
Stacy Leigh Sanders,
Herman S. Sandler,
Jim Sands Jr.,
Aileen J. Santiago,
Kristen Reese Santiago,
Maria Teresa Concepcion Santillan,
Susan Gale Santo,
Christopher A. Santora,
John August Santor,
Mario L. Santoro,
Rafael Umberto Santos,
Kellyanne K. Sarkar,
Victor J. Saraceni,
Paul F. Sarl,
Chappelle Renee Stewart Sarker,
Gregory Thomas Saucedo,
Deepika Kumar Sadalori,
Anthony Sabas,
Samuel M. Sala,
John Michael Sabarbaro,
Vladimir Savinkin,
Robert Louis Scandal,
David M. Scales,
Dennis Saucedo,
Michelle Scarpino,
John G. Sharp,
John Albert Sharp,
Angela Susan Scheinenberg,
Fred C. Sheffield Jr.,
Sean Shelkey,
Scott Michael Schnarzer,
Robert A. Schlegel,
Stephen Francis Schlag,
Karen Helene Schmidt,
John Schlissel,
Thomas G. Scholes,
Ian Schneider,
Gerard Patrick Schrang,
Frank G. Schott Jr.,
John T. Schroeder,
Jeffrey H. Schreier,
Edward W. Shunk,
Susan Lee Schuler,
John Brookhart Schwartz,
Mark Evan Schermeyer,
Injun Victoria Savetta,
Mark Schwartz,
and my uncle, who I never got to meet and I'm named after, Nicholas P. Petronti. We will always remember you, Nicholas.
Mark Scora, and my son Jeffrey Smith. We miss and we love you. We were very fortunate to have him in our lives for 36 years.
Janice M. Scott,
Randolph Scott,
Christopher J. Scudder,
Arthur Warren Scullen,
Michael H. Seaman,
Margaret M. Seeliger,
Anthony Segara,
Carlos Segara,
Jason M. Sexter,
Matthew Carmen Salido,
Michael L. Salvis,
Howard Selwyn,
Larry John Senko,
Arturo Angelo Sereno,
Frankie Serrano,
Marion H. Serva,
Alena Seshinova,
Adele Christine Sessa,
Sita Nirmala Sunarine,
Karen Lynn Seymour,
Davis Greer Sasna Jr.,
Thomas Joseph Skaroy,
Jayesh Shantanala Shah,
Khalid M. Shahid,
Mohammed Shahjahan,
Gary Shammai,
Earl Richard Shanahan,
Dan F. Shanown,
Neil G. Shastri,
Catherine Ann Shotzoff,
Barbara A. Shaw,
Jeffrey James Shaw,
Robert John Shea Jr.,
Daniel James Shea,
Joseph Patrick Shea,
Kathleen Shearer,
Robert M. Shearer,
Linda June Sheehan,
Hagay Sheffy,
Antoinette M. Sherman,
John Anthony Shuri,
and Sushi Shiratori,
Thomas Joseph Schubert,
Mark Schulman,
C. Wang Shum,
Alan Abraham Schwartzstein,
Clarence Shelley Siegel Schwartz,
Joanna Sigmund,
Diane T. Signer,
Gregory Sikorsky,
Stephen Gerard Siller,
David Silver,
Craig A. Silverstein,
Nasima H. Simji,
Bruce Edward Simmons,
Diana M. Simmons,
Donald D. Simmons,
George W. Simmons,
Arthur Simon,
Kenneth Allen Simon,
and my uncle Jesro Malabuyo de Chave. Tito, this is my second time reading for you. I really hope you're proud of me. I've never met you before, but you'll always be in our minds, our hearts, and our everyday lives. I know you're up there watching me. I love you. Mahal na mahal kita.
And I am Margaret Seeliger, who I'm honored to share my middle name with. I strive every day to continue your legacy. Your family loves, misses, and will never forget you.
Michael J. Simon,
Paul Joseph Simon,
Marianne LaCory Simone,
Barry Simowitz,
Jane Louise Simpkin,
Jeff Lyle Simpson,
Cheryl D. Sincock,
Kamlade Kami Singh,
Roshan Ramesh Singh,
Thomas E. Sinton III,
Peter A. Syracuse,
Muriel F. Siskopoulos,
Joseph Michael Sisolak,
John P. Scala,
Francis Joseph Skidmore Jr.,
Toyena Corliss Skinner,
Paul Albert Skrizabek,
Christopher Paul Slattery,
Vincent Robert Slavin,
Robert F. Sliwak,
Paul Kenneth Sloan,
Stanley S. Smagala Jr.,
Wendy L. Small,
Greg H. Smallwood,
Catherine T. Smith,
Daniel Lawrence Smith,
Gary F. Smith,
George Eric Smith,
Heather Lee Smith,
James Gregory Smith,
Jeffrey R. Smith,
Joyce Patricia Smith,
Carl T. Smith Sr.,
Kevin Joseph Smith,
Leon Smith Jr.,
Moira Ann Smith,
Monica Rodriguez Smith,
Rosemary A. Smith,
Bonnie Chahade Smithwick,
Rochelle Monique Snell,
Christine Ann Snyder,
Diane Bullis Snyder,
Leonard Steiner Jr.,
Astrid Elizabeth Sohan,
Sushil S. Solanki,
Ruben Solaris,
Naomi Leah Solomon,
Daniel W. Song,
Marie Ray Sopper,
Michael Charles Soresi,
Fabian Soto,
Timothy Patrick Sulas,
Gregory Thomas Spagnoletti,
Donald F. Spampanato, Jr.
Thomas Sparacchio.
John Anthony Spataro.
Robert W. Spear, Jr.
Robert Spiceman.
Maynard S. Spence, Jr.
George Edward Spencer III.
And my uncle, Mark A. Marolo. Our family misses you. I wish I got a chance to meet you. Love you.
And my brother, Joseph Michael Giacconi. I can't believe it's been 18 years, and you haven't sent me a rainbow lately, so I'm waiting. Send it soon.
Robert Andrew Spencer.
Mary Rubina Sperando.
Frank Spinelli.
William E. Spitz.
Joseph Patrick Spohr Jr.
Klaus Johannes Brockham.
Saranaya Srinuan.
Fitzroy St. Rose.
Michael F. Stabile.
Lawrence T. Stuck.
Timothy M. Stackpole.
Richard James Stadelberger.
Eric Adam Stallman.
Gregory Stipe.
Alexandru Liviu Stan.
Corina Stan.
Mary Domenica Stanley.
Anthony Starita.
Jeffrey Stark.
Derek James Statkevichus.
Patricia J. Statz.
Craig William Stout.
William V. Steckman.
Eric Thomas Steen.
William R. Steiner.
Alexander Robin Steinman.
Edna L. Stevens.
Andrew Sturgipoulos.
Andrew J. Stern.
Norma Lang Steorley.
Martha Jane Stevens.
Michael James Stewart.
Richard H. Stewart Jr.
Sanford M. Stoller.
Douglas Joel Stone.
Lonnie J. Stone.
Jimmy Neville Story.
Timothy Stout.
Thomas Strata.
James J. Strain Jr.
Edward W. Straub.
George J. Strouch Jr.
Edward Thomas Strauss.
Stephen R. Strauss.
Larry L. Strickland.
Stephen F. Strauber.
Walwyn Wellington Stewart Jr.
Benjamin Suarez.
David Scott Suarez.
Ramon Suarez.
Dino Xavier Suarez Ramirez.
Yoichi Sugiyama Sugiyama.
William Christopher Sugra.
Daniel Thomas Sword.
David Mark Sullins.
Christopher P. Sullivan.
Patrick Sullivan.
Thomas Sullivan.
Hilario Sariano Sumaya Jr.
James Joseph Suaza.
And my aunt, Lucia Crafasi. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think of you. I wish you were still here so I could greet you at the door like I used to every day when you came home from work. We miss you and love you very much.
And my sister, Galkarwe Kamarzinova. We love you, we miss you every day.
Colleen M. Sipinski.
Robert Sutcliffe.
Celine Sutter.
Claudia Suzette Sutton.
John Francis Swain.
Christine M. Swearson.
Brian David Sweeney.
Brian Edward Sweeney.
Madeline Amy Sweeney.
Kenneth J. Swenson.
Thomas F. Swift.
Derek Ogilvy Stewart.
Kevin Thomas Sozik.
Gina Steinberg.
Norbert P. Shurkovsky.
Harry Tebek.
Joan C. Tabik,
Norma C. Tadai,
Michael Tadonio,
Kishiro Takahashi,
Keiji Takahashi,
Phyllis Gail Talbot,
Robert R. Talhami,
John Talagnani,
Sean Patrick Talon,
Paul Talty,
Marita Tam,
Rachel Tamaras,
Hector Rogan Tamayo,
Michael Andrew Tamuccio,
Kenichiro Tanaka,
Rondell Sherry Tankard,
Michael Anthony Tanner,
Dennis Gerard Taormina Jr.,
Kenneth Joseph Tarantino,
Alan Tarasevich,
Michael C. Turo,
Ronald Tartaro,
Deborah Tavalorella,
Daryl Anthony Taylor,
Donnie Brooks Taylor,
Hilda E. Taylor,
Kit P. Taylor,
Leonard E. Taylor,
Larissa Salon Taylor,
Michael Morgan Taylor,
Sandra C. Taylor,
Sandra Dawn Teague,
Carl W. Teepee,
Paul A. Tegmeyer,
Yeshivant Morshwar Tembe,
Anthony Tempesta,
Dorothy Pearl Temple,
Stanley L. Temple,
David Gustav Peter Tangolin,
Brian John Terenzi,
Lisa Marie Terry,
Gulmadi Thakurdeen,
Harshad Sham Thate,
Michael Theodoritis,
and my uncle, William A. Matheson. It's an honor to stand here and speak your name. It's an honor to love your family, and it's an honor to remember you.
and my father, Edward F. Bullis. First and foremost, before any of this happened, before 9/11 happened, my mom was born on this day, so I just want to say happy birthday to my mom. And as far as my father goes, I miss you and I love you, and I know you're watching over us, over my brother who's in the Navy, based in Pearl Harbor. You're watching over my sister and our whole family. Again, I miss you, I love you, and I can't wait to see you soon.
Thomas F. Thurkoff Jr.,
Leslie Ann Thomas,
Brian Thomas Thompson,
Clive Ian Thompson,
Glenn Thompson,
Nigel Bruce Thompson,
Perry A. Thompson,
Vanava Alexi Thompson,
Nicola Angela Thorpe,
Eric Raymond Thorpe,
Sal Edward Thierry Jr.,
Tamara C. Thurman,
Mary Ellen Chiesi,
John Patrick Tierney,
Kenneth Tejan,
William Randolph Tiest,
Scott Charles Temes,
Stephen Edward Teague,
Jennifer M. Chino,
Michael E. Tinley,
John James Tipping II,
Robert Frank Tipaldi,
Hector Luis Tirado Jr.,
David Tirado,
Richard J. Tedisco,
Michelle Lee Totolo,
Vladimir Tomasevic,
John J. Tobin,
Thomas Tong,
Otis V. Tolbert,
Luis Eduardo Torres,
Stephen Kevin Thompson,
Christopher Michael Trina,
Doris Torres,
Abdul Karim Traore,
Amy Elizabeth Tovin,
Walter Philip Travers,
Daniel Patrick Trant,
James Anthony Trentini,
Glenn J. Travers Sr.,
Lisa L. Trey Raytola,
Felicia Yvette Trailer Bass,
Michael Angel Trinidad,
Mary Barbara Trentini,
Gregory James Trost,
Karamo Baba Trera,
William P. Selepez Jr.,
Francis Joseph Trombino,
Michael Patrick Tucker,
Willie Q. Troy,
Ching Ping Tung,
Zanetta Valentinova Soy,
Donald Joseph Tuzio,
Lance Richard Tumulty,
Jennifer Lynn Semis,
Simon James Turner,
And my father, Michael Patrick Tucker, you were the best dad ever. Taylor, Gaffney, Morgan, and I love and miss you every day.
Robert T. Tomey, John G. Uselhofer, and my brother, Chris Allingham. We love you always and miss you still. Thank you.
Tyler Victor Ugelin,
Michael A. Ulano,
Jonathan J. Uman,
Anil Shivhari Umarkar,
Alan V. Upton,
Diane Marie Urban,
John Damian Boccaccio,
Bradley Hodges Vadas,
William Valcarcel,
Felix Antonio Vale,
Ivan Vale,
Benito Valentin,
Santos Valentin Jr.,
Carlton Francis Valvo II,
Pendiala Vamsi Krishna,
Erica H. Van Acker,
Kenneth W. Van Auken,
R. Bruce Van Hine,
Daniel M. Van Leer,
Edward Raymond Vanacore,
John Charles Van de Vander,
Frederick T. Virachi,
Gopala Krishnan Viradan,
David Vargas,
Scott C. Vassell,
Azrael Ismael Vasquez,
Ronald J. Volk,
Archangel Vasquez,
Santos Vasquez,
Peter Vega,
Sankara Sastri Velamuri,
Jorge Velasquez,
Lawrence G. Velling,
Anthony Mark Ventura,
David Vera,
Loretta Ann Verrill,
Christopher James Villalonga,
Matthew Gilbert Viana,
Robert Anthony Vicario,
Celeste Torres Victoria,
Joanna Vidal,
John T. Vigiano II,
Joseph Vincent Vigiano,
Frank J. Vignola Jr.,
Joseph Barry Villardo,
Clarabelle Villalobos Hernandez,
Sergio Gabriel Villanueva,
Chantal Vincelli,
Melissa Renee Vincent,
Francine Ann Virgilio,
Lawrence Virgilio,
Joseph Gerard Risciano,
Joshua S. Vitale,
Marie Percoco Vola,
Lynette D. Vosky,
Garo H. Vasca Irajon,
Alfred Anton Vicosa,
Gregory Camille Bruno Wackler,
Karen J. Wagner,
Mary Alice Wallstrom,
and my mother, Imelda Harris Perry. We love you, we miss you, and I am eternally grateful for your love, wisdom, and guidance. Thank you.
and my dear wife, Carol Dimmitz. We all love you and will keep you in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Honor Elizabeth Wiano, Gabriela Silvina Weisman, Wendy Alice Rosario Wakeford, Courtney Wainsworth Walcott, Victor Wald, Kenneth E. Waldy, Benjamin James Walker, Glenn Wall, Mitchell Scott Wallace, Peter Guider Wallace, Robert Francis Wallace, Roy Michael Wallace, Jean Marie Waldendorf, Matthew Blake Wallens, Mita L. Waller, John Wallace Jr., Barbara P. Bush, Jim Walsh, Jeffrey P. Waltz, Ching Wang, Waving Wang, Micah Walcola, Stephen Gordon Ward, Timothy Ray Ward, James A. Waring, Brian G. Warner, Derek Christopher Washington, Charles Waters, James Thomas Waters, Jr. Patrick J. Waters. Kenneth Thomas Watson. Mike Way. Todd Christopher Weaver. Walter Edward Weaver. Nathaniel Webb. Dinah Webster. William Michael Weems. Joanne Flora Weil. Michael Thomas Weinberg. Stephen Weinberg. Scott Jeffrey Weingard. Stephen George Weinstein. Simon Weisner. David M. Weiss. David Thomas Weiss. Chin Sun Pak Wells. Vincent Michael Wells. Deborah Jacobs Welsh. Timothy Matthew Weltley. Christian Hans Rudolph Wemmers. Sui Wen. John Joseph Wenkus. Ole Day Weinenchuk. Peter M. West. Whitfield West Jr. Meredith Lynn Whalen. Eugene Michael Whalen. Adam S. White. Edward James White III. James Patrick White. And my cousin, Port Authority Officer Christopher Charles Amoroso. Chris, there's not a day that goes by that you're not in our thoughts and prayers. Continue to keep watch over us and keep us safe. To all the first responders, construction workers, military personnel, and volunteers that were here on this day 18 years ago and remained throughout the months that followed, that are currently suffering and or have succumbed to 9/11 illnesses. We honor you. We pray for you. Your sacrifice will never be forgotten. And for the two that I keep close to my heart, you understand why. And my mother, Stacy Sennis McGowan, who we miss more and more every day and every year, but continue to carry on through the memory of her love and the gift of Stacy-ness. We'll always remember you, Mama.
John Sylvester White.
Kenneth Wilburn White, Jr.
Leonard Anthony White.
Melissa Y. White.
Maudlin A. White.
Sandra L. White.
Wayne White.
Leanne Marie Whiteside.
Mark P. Whitford.
Leslie A. Whittington.
Michael T. Holy.
Mary Lentz Wyman.
Jeffrey David Weiner.
William J. Wick.
Allison Marie Wildman.
Glenn E. Wilkinson.
Ernest M. Wiltshire.
John Charles Willett.
Brian Patrick Williams.
Candace Lee Williams.
Crosley Richard Williams, Jr.
David J. Williams.
David Lucian Williams.
Debbie L. Williams.
Dwayne Williams.
Kevin Michael Williams.
Louis Anthony Williams.
Louis Calvin William III.
John P. Williamson.
Donna Ann Wilson.
William Eben Wilson.
David Harold Winton.
Glenn J. Winnick.
Thomas Francis Weiss.
Alan L. Wisniewski.
Frank Paul Wisniewski.
David Wiswall.
Sigrid Charlotte Wiswit.
Michael R. Wittenstein.
Christopher W. Wodencheck.
Martin Phillips Woolforth.
Catherine Susan Wolf.
Jennifer Yen Wong.
Su Cheng Steve Wong.
Brent James Woodall.
Yuk Pin Wong.
Marvin Roger Woods.
James John Woods.
Richard Heron Woodwell.
Patrick J. Woods.
John Bentley Works.
David Terrence Woolley.
Rodney James Watton.
Martin Michael Whitley.
John W. Wright, Jr.
William Wren Retire.
Sandra Lee Wright.
Neil Robin Wright.
Say your next one. Say Jupiter.
Jupiter Yambem.
And my wife, Debbie Kaplan.
And my beautiful brother, Michael Angel Trinidad. We love and we miss you.
John D. Yamnicki, Sr.
Suresh Yanamadala.
Vicky Yancey.
Chuyin Yang.
Matthew David Yarnell.
Myrna Yaskoka.
Shaquila Yasmin.
Olabisi Shadi Layeni Yi.
Kevin W. Yoakum.
Edward P. York.
Kevin Patrick York.
Raymond R. York.
Suzanne Martha Humans.
Barrington Leroy Young, Jr.
Donald MacArthur Young.
Edmund G. Young, Jr.
Jacqueline Young.
Lisa L. Young.
Elkin Ewan.
Joseph C. Zaccoli.
Adele Agabi Zachary.
Arkady Zaltzman.
Edwin J. Zambrana Jr.
Robert Allen Zampieri.
Mark Zangrilli.
Christopher R. Zarba, Jr.
Ira Zaslow.
Kenneth Albert Zellman.
Abraham J. Zelmanowitz.
Martin Morales Zempoal Tekatel.
Chi Sheng.
Mark Scott Zeppelin.
Ji Yao Justin Ji.
Yuguang Zheng.
Evelyn Zeminski.
Michael Joseph Zinzi.
Charles Allen Zion.
Julie Lynn Zipper.
Salvatore J. Zissa.
Prokopios Paul Sois.
Joseph Z. Sokola.
Andrew Stephen Zucker.
Igor Zuckelman.
And my godfather and uncle, Richard Samuel Gabriel. Sunflowers always make me smile the way you always made me smile, and you continue to make me and my family smile every time your memory enters us. I want to thank first responders, especially Battalion Chief Oreo Palmer and Fire Marshal Ronald Buca, who died trying to save my family's life and many other lives, but also all the first responders and the volunteers and responders who continue to suffer with 9/11 related illnesses. Thank you for your service.
And my sister, Catherine Patricia Salter. She was sister also to Tim, Cindy, Linda, and Mary. 18 years, we will not forget, we cannot forget.
Keith A. Bloomfield.
Patrick John Brown.
Lillian Caceres.
Stephen Dennis Cafiero Jr.
Patricia Florence DiCiaro.
Paul Robert Ekna.
John Joseph Fanning.
James Andrew Gadil.
Jorge Luis Moron Garcia.
Wilder Alfredo Gomez.
Linda Granlund.
Mark F. Hemshoot.
Joseph V. Majiti.
Thomas H. Mahone.
Jeffrey James Olson.
Barbara K. Olson.
Pablo Ortiz.
Susan M. Sauer.
Vladimir Savinkin.
John Michael Sabarbaro.
Dennis Scorso.
Raphael Skorka.
William H. Thompson.
Alicia Nicole Titus.
Yin Ping Wang.
And my brother, Daniel James Gallagher. Not a day goes by that your family and friends don't wish you were still here.
And I want to remember my cousin Steve Belson, who was first a lifeguard in Rockaway Beach and saved countless lives on the beach, and then as Mr. Ladder 24, FDNY. So for all you surfers out there, please continue to surf, and for all you lifeguards, please continue to save lives. Thank you.
And that concludes our special coverage honoring the victims of the September 11th attacks. We are taking a live look at those strikingly beautiful blue skies, and we hear those words, never forget, as we remember 9/11 and all of those lost 18 years ago today.
And thank you for joining us for this special coverage. The news at noon starts right now.